Welcome back to On The Box. Joining me in the studio now are KIDIC. How's it going, lads? You well?
Pretty good.
Not too bad. Very good.
Very good. So you guys came from the Kid Icarus project. That's where the name comes from, isn't it?
That's right. We've been playing around for a few years, just kind of doing gigs the odd time in town and working on different material. But we had sojourns into like electronic music and solo projects, and I went off the rails for a while doing multimedia and electroacoustic stuff. So
sojourns into electro. I've never. Do people sojourn into electro?
I think you can get addicted to it with all the machines and the technology. You can fall into just a cycle of buying new technology boxes and seeing what they do and making music from it. But at the end, good solid rock songs are what people want to hear. So that's the end of that.
That's what we like playing too.
I'm a massive gadget freak myself. I know you can get that kind of, you like just opening a fresh box with something electronic inside.
Yeah.
It becomes an addiction.
These days, the amount of software you can get is amazing, and programs like Reason and stuff, you can spend hours just fiddling with, virtual knobs to your heart's content. But at the end of the day, yeah, exactly, yeah. At the end of the day, we came back to what we're kind of natural at, and that's kind of just rock. It's more performance orientated than actual electronica and that type of stuff. So.
Well, I like the description on your bio. It says KIDIC are not quite rock, not quite pop, and not quite emo, but their music does rock and it does emote. I love that. That's very. You wrote that, didn't you?
Very corny, yeah, and I did. The problem is, people always ask you, what's your music sound like? And without kind of name checking bands that you like, which is what most people do, it's very hard to describe. So, and
that'll take you a while, that one.
No, well, most people ask you what are your influences, but personally I don't know if that has much of an effect on what you write. Like people, when they're asked what are your influences, they say what their favourite bands are, but they don't necessarily influence you in the way you write your music. So I think it's kind of a non-starter as a question. So might as well just put a statement up there, even if it was corny.
Good thing I didn't ask it then, because otherwise I'd feel like a fool. But Colin, tell us, there's an interesting story about how you guys all got together.
Yes, well, Morgan and I were both introduced by this nurse. We both met at a party. We were the only two people she actually knew that actually played music. It was a hell of a party, and the result was pretty much us being able to play together, and we started jamming after that.
Did she do that kind of thing that your mum does when you meet like when you were younger and put you together at parties? Oh, you like the colour blue. She also likes the colour blue, and try and matchmake. Is that what
yeah,
she did?
She was kind of quite drunk at the time, so it didn't sound quite like that, but the effect was pretty similar. John and Mark met, one spilled a pint accidentally over the other, and then they started a row and spilled the rest of the pint over each other, and that's how they met. So it was a very passionate introduction, I think.
I don't think John's ever forgiven Mark, to be honest.
He still occasionally throws the odd pint on him just for memory's sake.
Now, you guys have been playing for a while, and the recording process and the making music process doesn't always run very smooth, does it?
Well, that's why we've changed our process now. So we used to go to studios and spend time there, and obviously under a lot of pressure to get the job done in a short space of time. So now what we do is we bring the studio to us, we bring in the engineer and the producer, and we work with our own equipment. And that gives you more space and time to breathe, go back and revisit the song, go home, listen to it for a week, and then come back and finish it off. And so at the end of the day, you're really satisfied with it. So the first song to go through this process was Holding Doors for Strangers, and it's the first song we've been entirely happy with. Mostly, you're always, there's one thing you want to change, but with this one, it's just the way we wanted it. So we're very happy with the sound.
It's done quite well. It's gotten great name checks from people. It's been US radio stations have been airplaying it. The video we're going to have a look at in just a bit. But there's an interesting story before you decided to go on your own. You won a competition with TBN's. Well,
Music Centre. Yeah, it was one of those kind of Emergennis style things where you bring along your friends and the biggest clap gets the biggest win. So we came joint second, and in the end the prize was recording time in Studio One with up-and-coming engineer Garrett Mannix. So we were very excited at the time, and we saved it up until the time when we had a really great song to go in. So we spent 2.5 days working on the song, and at the end, when it came to paying the bill, I went up and proudly stated, well, we won the competition, so all we have to pay for is the tape, right? At which point they told us they'd never heard of the competition. There was no competition as far as they were concerned, so they stumped us with the entire bill. Ouch. So eventually the guys in TBMC, very nice guys, very understanding, and they wrote the entire thing off as a bad debt, so
fair play to them.
Oh no, that's good. See, the music wins out in the end, which is good.
Exactly. We were at the very start of our career. We were young and innocent, so
nice one.
We'll have to put them in the thanks.
Yeah. Now we're going to take a look at the single Holding Doors for Strangers. This is from KIDIC.
Process